Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm here to talk about if this stock will be the next short squeeze. The stock that we're here to talk about today is BBAI. This company, if you guys watch my channel, you know I talk about this company a lot. We see their stock chart right here. They're up 38% year to date, so it looked like a good company. But what's going on with this company? Let's talk a little bit more about it. So their revenue, not that impressive. They've been insanely flat for the past 4 years. Their revenue has been flat for the past 4 years. This company has not blown it out of the water in any regard, to revenue or how much money they're making. But what I did see that caught my interest is I was looking at, the most traded stocks today, checking out Yahoo Finance, and the most traded stock today. This is like top 10, I think the top 11 stocks traded today, above a lot of big companies, Nvidia, Tesla, Open Door Technologies, which has been a huge, runner, is BBAI. That is the most traded stock in the stock market today, and its market cap is $2 billion. So you see Nvidia is fourth there with a $4.6 trillion market cap, but this small company was the most traded stock today. And that got me thinking. It got me thinking about, okay, this stock is the most traded. Let me check out their short float. This might be the next big short. What is a short squeeze? So this is their short interest over time. We see it absolutely just exploding this year. You see last year it wasn't really that high, but people see the financials of the company and they're thinking, okay, this company might, it might go bankrupt. This company might be a short. This might be a good play to short the company. So what is a short squeeze? I wanted to go over that. So you see we use the x-axis as time and then the y as price. We see that a short squeeze is basically when a stock is being heavily shorted. We saw back here that the short interest on BBAI, they don't have it as percentages, but it's around 17%. So that's pretty high for any stock. Like Nvidia's short interest is not 17%, I'll tell you that. But especially for these smaller stocks, even that is high. So the majority of people think the stock is going to go down. There's a lot of big money saying that the stock is going to go down, and they're putting their money where their mouth is. So basically what a short squeeze is that, the stock is doing whatever it does, and then as the stock starts running up, because maybe there's a catalyst, that's what I'm thinking with this company. That is my consensus, is that I think there is going to be a catalyst that pushes this company's price to jump. And then like you see right here, as availability of borrowable shares decrease, there's a rotation of new longs and shorts, and then there's a short squeeze, and then so the short squeeze zone is up here, and that is when the company starts running. Basically what happens is there's a lot of pressure on the stock pushing it down from these shorts, and then when it starts breaking out because of this catalyst, the shorts close, and to close they have to buy stock. So a lot of money gets poured into the stock, and it's, the price is artificially inflated due to the short squeeze. That's why it's called a short squeeze. They're squeezing money out of the shorts. What is BBAI? What is this company financially? Because, well, it sounds like a good investment right now. Like, you have a chance to do what GameStop did. We don't know if this company is actually financially sound. We don't know what they do. We have no idea about BBAI. But BBAI is BigBear.ai. Their mission is, I could read this statement, but basically what this company does is they have a lot of artificial intelligence solutions, very heavy AI company here. Like it says, 3 core markets. They have a global supply chains and logistics, autonomous systems, and cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is one of their biggest ones. Their customers are the U.S. intelligence community, Department of Defense, and the U.S. federal government, as well as complex manufacturing, warehouse operations, distribution, healthcare, and life sciences. They all rely on BigBear.ai solutions. Where they're making most of their money is these government contracts. They have a facial recognition system that's used in a lot of airports as of right now. So that's pretty much where they're making most of their money, which is good. It's good. They're making money. They have these long contracts that are pretty, it's going to happen. They're going to make the money. You can check the contracts. They're publicly available. But who are they partnered with? So BBAI back in 2021 actually partnered with Palantir. If you guys know Palantir, you probably know Palantir. If you're watching this video, you know about Palantir stock. This is a stock that has gone absolutely insane. It went from, it was about a year ago at this time, it was under $50. It was cheaper than that. And then you take it back, 2-3 years, this was a $20 stock. And then even, it hasn't even been a stock for 5 years, but it ran all the way from, I think the low was around $5, and now it's an $190 stock. So very impressive to say the least. But this company does a revenue of $3.4 billion, so a lot more than the other one. And then we also see that their PE ratio is staggeringly high. That is because this company has deserved that. They have insane growth rates. A lot of what they've been doing is pretty insane. And then their market cap is almost $500 billion, so a lot more than BBAI's $2 billion market cap. Palantir did not actually, I mean, a little bit of a short squeeze maybe, but that was not the main catalyst for this company. They're actually a great company, which I think BBAI has the chance to do. So that's why I'm saying invest in BBAI, because I think they could be a great company along with the short squeeze. I think both can happen at the same time. So this is how BBAI makes money. Basically, I think that's the biggest problem for this company. Obviously, their PE ratio is -4, so we need to see how is this company making money, because, it's like the stock market. All you care about is money. If a company's not making money, they're not a good company. I mean, you need to be profitable. You need to be making money, because you're taking your hard-earned money, the money that you worked for, the money you gave up time for, to invest into this company. So it has to be something worth your while. So BigBear.ai has secured numerous defense and government contracts, including a $13.2 million U.S. Department of Defense contract to modernize the force management platform, and a $165 million U.S. Army contract for the Global Force Information Management System. So a lot of these contracts, and they also have another contract, which it's a potential contract. So the thing with this company, I mean, you can read through all of these contracts right here, but a lot of them are government provided, and the government has money to spend on contracts, so that's not an issue. That's why Palantir is so big. A lot of their contracts are with the government as well, and they have a market cap of almost 500 billion. So BBAI definitely has potential to be as big as Palantir. They just need to get those contracts. They have the product. They're partnered with Palantir. They are partnered on a few projects. They do have, a partnered platform or partnership. And that's very impressive that BBAI, such a small, relatively small company, is, on par with Palantir in that regard, but financially definitely not. So I think that this is kind of what we're seeing is the early stages of Palantir. I think that it's very common that these stocks IPO for a certain price, and then they drop down as the growth rates slow, and then they begin to rise back up. So why buy BBAI? I think BBAI is primed for a short squeeze. I mean, all it takes, let's go all the way back to their stock price chart. So what I wanted to show is, look at this stock. This is year to date. All that it would take for this stock to, have a short squeeze is a catalyst saying that they signed, an $100 million contract. It sounds like a lot, but for the government, it's probably not a lot. All that it would take is that BBAI saying they signed a contract with, the cybersecurity team at U.S., federal agency of investigate, whatever it is, or maybe, U.S. flight defense or something like that. And all it takes is them signing a $100 million contract with them, and this company's, their price is going up to $10. The shorts are closing out, which the interest is 17%. Look at how much money is in shorts in this company. If we go all the way to here, we see $652 million short interest. So that's very sizable. That's almost half of the company's market cap in shorts, which is it's pretty sizable. So that means that the company would rise a lot. A lot of people would be buying back shares. Then that would bring in even more people. So there's a lot of things that could happen with BBAI. And even then, when it does short squeeze, this company could just be a good company. It could just be one to invest in that's now profitable. And it could do what Palantir has done for so long. Also, there's always the potential for news. I mean, that's true for every stock in the stock market, but especially this one, you're buying it with the hopes that they're going to come out, maybe with a new product, but probably not that. You're mostly just hoping that this company is going to secure some more government contracts, make some more money in that sense. They also have contracts with different lines of business, like it said, supply and logistics. They also do that. So there is other ways that they could find contracts, but I think the government is going to be the number one way for them. Then also their industry partners. They're partnered with Palantir. Palantir knows what they're doing. They've been partnered for a while, since 2021. So it has been a little bit of time that's gone by between now and then. But I do think that BBAI is a very worthwhile investment to at least look at for all of these reasons, because they are making money. This company does, like I showed over here, their revenue, sorry for going through the slideshow so much, but their revenue is 153 million. That's not bad. It's just not growing very fast. They're not getting a bunch of new contracts. This was a big thing. You see 2020 to 2021, they really, scaled up very fast, and the stock price reflects that. But then after that, it kind of just leveled out. So if they did have a linear growth pattern, then their stock would be in a much different place right now. Their revenue would probably be $1 billion. Like, Palantir, like I showed over here, Palantir has a revenue of $3.4 billion. So these are two very different stocks. They're in the same sector, but they also offer different services. I think BBAI has the potential to be as big as Palantir, and I think a short squeeze is in the works, especially because to be the most traded stock, there's to be a lot of people buying your stock, like a lot, especially retail traders, and they're not going to move the market by themselves. So I think that there is some movements for retail traders to move together and, move the stock up. That has happened before, like we saw with DFV and Roaring Kitty, same person, but GameStop. That was pretty crazy. I think that BBAI has potential, maybe not to do that, but I think a certain version of that. And the thing about short squeezes is you can 100x on a short squeeze. So I would not put my full portfolio into BBAI by no terms. By no means would I put a bunch of money into BBAI, but I might take, $20 and throw it in there and maybe it'll turn into 2,000. You never know. So I think BBAI is really just a Hail Mary play. It's a lottery play. If you have a little bit of extra money and you want to throw it in there, then I think good things could very much come out of that. I think that this stock is respectable. They do make money. They do have these contracts underway, so it's not like you're investing in an idea. But I think you are investing in hopes of a catalyst, which is a scary thing because the stock price could wither away as they don't receive that catalyst, or this company could get it tomorrow. You could not be invested right now, and new news could come out tomorrow, and the stock's to the moon. So anything can happen with this company. I think that it's a good investment right now if you have a little bit of extra money and you want to play around with it. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. That's all I have for today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy the video. I come out with daily content about everything, which stocks to buy, what I think is going to happen in the market. So there's a lot of different things I talk about, and you guys can check out, for example, last video talked about one stock that I think everyone should own. It could change your life. And then the one before that, 5 stocks to buy before November. So I think you guys should get into those, over the next 4 days as we just started a new trading week. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.